What's up, guys? It's your girl Riva, and I'm back again with another video. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Riva. It's very nice to meet you. Before we get into this video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. And as I always say, make sure you guys leave your comments in the comment section down below. It does not matter how you feel about this video. We all want to talk about it. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, follow my Instagram. It's at RIVAH_JORDON. And we're going to go ahead and jump right into the video. Shout out to Edward for sending this video to me and always, wanting to see my perspective on new videos. So thank you so much. And as I said, we're going to go ahead and jump right in. As I saw by the title, this looks like it's going to be a pretty interesting video. So let's just see how this conversation goes.
Wins, dad wins, and we're not splitting our focus several different ways. But if someone is, 35, 36, 37, 38, they're like, okay, we only want one child. We don't want kids at all. Then that looks different than James and I getting married in our early 20s. Well, I was mid-20s. Getting married early on and designing it from there, knowing, okay, we want children. We want a homeschool. So before we even came up with Marriage by Design, we knew what we wanted our marriage to look like. So that's our biggest thing. And going back to what you had said about the boss chick thing, two different things about the boss chick thing, one or two different ways. I'm going to touch some toes. I'm going to step on with the boss chicks. One or two things. I think there is an innate motherly, I want to have kids. After you reach over a certain age and you got set, you got all the education, you got all the degrees, you begin to realize I might not have an opportunity to have these different things, to get a husband or to have children, and you become that boss chick because that's what I have to give. The other way is...
Hold up now. She basically said that a lot of these boss chicks, become boss chicks because they don't have a choice, because their biological clock or life ends up making the decisions for them when they were the ones who were chasing the money, chasing the bag, chasing their careers, chasing a certain lifestyle to show off with their friends about. So she's saying that a lot of these people who are speaking so strongly on behalf of the boss chicks, on behalf of you can do bad all by yourself, they're doing that because they don't have any other options at that point. So then they just kind of join aside and just give opinions and feedbacks about, why you can do it all by yourself, because she doesn't have another option to do something different.
You have these younger women that become the boss chicks out of default because they're being raised by boss chicks. Ooh. They're being raised by boss chick grandmas, boss chick mamas, and they're being raised by these women because a lot of times they've been hurt by men. And so when being hurt by men, let down and hurt by men, father not in the home. And so they've decided, I'm going to protect myself. By protecting myself, I'm going to protect my daughter. And how do I protect my daughter? I'm going to tell her to go get all the education that she can get so she doesn't have to depend on a man, because men are going to let her down. So go get all the education you can so you can provide for yourself. And if you have children, you can provide for them too, because they can't trust men. And so you have this generation of grandmothers and mothers that have raised these children to go out, and these women to go out and be boss chicks. And at the same time, I'll touch on this just a little bit. They're raising their sons completely different because they don't have that husband that they can love on and feel on and touch on and cuddle to. They're replacing that because they have that need and putting that on their son. And so
Okay, first of all, whoa. Okay, first of all, whoa. What she's saying about, they can't depend on men, or they can't trust any men, so they raise their daughters to be the same way, actual and factual. And they think that they're helping their children or their daughters, but they're actually hindering them, right? And we know that. They're hindering them because based off of the men that only you have experienced, you have not experienced all the men in the whole world, based off of the men that you've experienced, and got into situations with, maybe got married to, or maybe had babies with, based off of your life experiences, you're putting that onto your daughter, who is innocent in this situation, quite possibly can find a great match for her, can find a great husband, that's going to be there, that's going to be around, that has also come from a good family. You're wrecking that whole thing. You're jumping in front of it, wrecking that whole thing. And then a lot of times what we see is that young lady will get a man and probably will get into a relationship, and the mother is in her head and in her ear, basically and strategically ruining that relationship. Because if you find a man and you're happy and you're well off and you're doing well, one, we can't talk about how bad men are or how bad we think they are, but also I'm gonna be losing my friend, my homegirl, because you're not gonna be able to relate to me being a single woman. You're gonna have a different different movement. So even if you do find a relationship that might be suitable for you, I'm still gonna be here and telling you that that relationship is not good enough, or he should be doing this, or he should be doing that, and I'm gonna find fault in everything to also keep you single. Because we always say that single women keep other women single, but we have to understand that single mothers also keep other their daughters single. Not all the time, but in some aspects.
And so we're raising these strong, independent Black women, and we're raising these weak men.
Yes.
So, wait a minute. So that whole boss chick thing, that touches me. That touches me. Because that we need to really step back from that. And I believe by bringing some of these traditional values back, bringing moms back into the home, bringing family business, because I'm very involved in our family business. I'm like, babe, what you need? What we doing now? What's our next move? I'm very involved.
But we're not just gonna skim over the fact that she just said that these moms are raising their daughters to be strong, independent, and quote unquote masculine, handle everything on your own. You don't need anybody for anything. And raising their sons the complete opposite, to fulfill all of their own needs and their desires and become the man that they can't experience. Okay, they're raising their sons to become the man that they would not even have an opportunity. I won't even say to date, but they're raising their sons to be the man that is irrational, right? Like, okay, he needs to be strong. He needs to be wise. He needs to be able to do this. He needs to be able to do that. But then he needs to cater to my every need, and he needs to be sweet, and he needs to be, So you're raising this man that he's gonna have a hard time navigating when he gets older, because that kind of man doesn't even exist. You know what I mean? And when I say exist, I don't mean that there's not great men out there who do everything and who cater to the woman's needs. But the main thing with those men, why they don't have heartbreak after heartbreak, and they're able to be good leaders and control their home, is because those men are strict. Okay, they stand right there looking at you while they know the nature of a woman. They're not just going to cater to every woman's needs or to their woman's every single need or desire, because it's not realistic. Because sometimes, as we know, women can be very delusional. Okay? Or women have the ability to try to compare you to what so-and-so husband's doing, or what they saw on social media, or what they saw here, what they saw there. So, as a man, it's important that as women who are raising, which a woman, I personally believe a woman can't raise a man to be a man fully, okay? I personally can't believe that. You can teach him a lot of things, but he needs to see the representation of what it is to be a man by a man, okay? Hands down. He needs that. But you're raising him in all of these different ways that are suitable for you, but not suitable for a grown man. The 100% self-respect, structure, okay, being a man of your word. Like, there's certain things that need to be there, but you're not looking at those things, because with those things comes the man that hurt you. And sometimes the man that hurt these women, is the only reason why they were even hurt to begin with, is because they couldn't control him. They couldn't control this person. It's not even that the man did anything wrong, but they felt like happy wife, happy life, and you're supposed to do what I say we're supposed to do. And because they couldn't control him, the relationship wasn't a good relationship. He ain't this, he ain't that, men ain't this, men ain't that.
Involved in that, even with the 2-year-old. I was less involved in it when she was 1, but as she gets older, it's giving me more and more leeway to, okay, I can sit her down and she can read, and she can, watch a little show, or she can do whatever, and mommy can go do this. And it gives me more leeway. But when she was younger, I knew what my role was for her at that point. And so everything changes and grows. And I think a lot of times when women hear traditional wife, traditional mom, traditional all of this, they get so scared because they've not seen it. You didn't see your grandmother being traditional. You saw your grandmother being man and woman. You saw her being mom and dad. You saw your mom being mom and dad. And a lot of times, even when a man is in the house, he doesn't even know how to be a man because he didn't have a father in the home. So we got work to do. We really do. And the traditional family unit is a way to get that unit back together so we can start growing the Black community. Then we can grow outward. But we got to start with family first, and then we can start growing the Black community.
Yeah, and a lot of people say that, like, oh, you guys are talking about relationships and, there's so much stuff that can go on in the Black community. We have to worry about this. We have to worry about that. We have to worry about our house. Just like how she said, we have to worry about our home because we already know the world is hard enough. Everything is tough enough, but people are going out and experience hardships and tough things going on in the world and then coming home and it's still hell. We have to be able to build each other, as she said, so that we can change the trajectory, right? Like raising good children with stable minds that can, grow up and be whatever it is they want to be in business and whatever. And we can move forward. We can move the needle forward, but we all have to get along first, okay? Because we're not even getting along. If a husband and wife is not even getting along, this is why we have these conversations.
I told you I got a wife.
Yeah, he picked me up on the corner street, y'all.
I'm sitting here letting this thing just sit a little bit, yo. My sound guy took off his earphones. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here like you literally just pissed some people off.
I should have. I hope to. Because it takes being pissed off to move. If you're sitting there comfortable, then you're not going to make any moves. I am here. I want some thought-provoking, am I doing the right stuff to move my family forward? We're big on creating legacy.
Yeah.
How can I create a legacy if I'm working 40 hours over here and you're working 40 hours over there? And this is what we're teaching.
And because if I'm working 40 hours over here and you're working 40 hours over there, who's raising our children? The same society that we say we want to be above and, they this and they want to keep us down. And so you're leaving your kids at school, right? So if you're 40 hours over here, by the time you come home from work, oh, you did your homework? Okay, go to bed. You're leaving them to their own demises. Okay, and leaving them left up to social media, society, TV, all these other entities to raise your children. And that's just keeping it 100, That's just keeping it really, really real. And it doesn't mean that some women don't have to work, because of just finances and how expensive stuff is, right? But giving your all and giving his all, there has to be a space where, the woman can step back and say, okay, the children need this, they need that, they need this, need that. Okay, I'm going to make sure that I'm able to do this and conform this so that we are taking part in raising our children. And not just leaving them up, One thing I love about this conversation so much, I have no idea who these people are, by the way, is that she's a very strong person. And you can tell. She's a very strong person, intelligent person, wise person, and very on it as a woman. And her ultimate thing is to be under the leadership and submission of this man that's sitting right there. So as strong and as this and as that she's talking and, passionate she is about this situation, the fact that everything goes back to him, it's because of him, and it's because of him, it's because, my husband and this and that, that's so beautiful to see. Because when people say, oh, I can't even talk and I can't even have a voice and, submissive woman and it means that I'm just a little mouse. That's not true. That's not true. If anything, she's even more empowered because he's also teaching her and guiding her and leading her in different aspects. And he gives her the tools of knowledge and he gives her that validation to feel like, yes, I'm that woman. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people really have this whole, traditional marriage and all that kind of stuff really, really twisted. Really, and as she said, they don't even know any better because they've never even seen it.
Legacy looks like? How can that be family business And how can that be legacy if we're both separated and doing different things?
And we're talking about generational wealth. That's like one of the buzzwords out here.
Absolutely.
Generational wealth. Generational wealth. How do you? Family is the biggest progenitor to generational wealth, right? And having children, the nuclear family, right? Because here's another thing that's out there right now too is, black men and black fathers particularly are being replaced by the village. Well, it don't have to be just like, a village as well, but that's not as a replacement to the father, right? So we hear a lot of this village talk, but we're going to have these nuclear families where it starts with the husband and wife, right? Where we're on the same page. We have the same...
Right, like people, especially when it comes to people who raise their kids on their own, like a lot of them, it takes a village, like even if the father's not around, like it takes a village and it takes a village, but if it's a mother and a father who are on the same accord, it really just takes you two. Like, it really just takes the two of you. I'm not saying that you don't have, like, other people around that can help and assist and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that, but it really takes the two parents to come together on one accord, the man being the leader of the home, the woman being like, okay, he has the final say, he's this, he's that, to raise, children in the way that you as parents know and feel that they should grow. It really takes the two of you.
We have the same vision. We have the same philosophy of, boom, this is where we're going. You can't hit a target you don't have, right? So we got the target that we're going to hit, right? And then when we're solid together, then the children come into place and we're building something. How do you have a strong society without strong communities? How do you have strong communities without strong families? And how do you have strong families without strong marriages? Right? So it starts here, right? With the marriage first, and then to the family, and then to the community, and then that's how we make the impact on society.
Right.
Yeah. Tradition is traditional for me. No, because you got me thinking. You know what I'm saying? Why do I want to send my wife out there to go work 40 hours for another man to build his vision?
Right.
And then we're not building the vision, which is our vision. And again, hear me clearly, y'all. Y'all know I'm very big on finances, very big on getting out of debt. You know that. I'm not saying do not get you a job to pay your bills and be a responsible human being. But what is the vision for you and your spouse? That's what I'm hearing from you.
Right.
And it's like, get that vision. Then when you get that vision, work towards that vision. Don't serve another man's vision.
Right.
That's heavy, A lot of times, and I talked about this before, and I've said that, there's so many different reasons why people get married. There's people who only get married for finances. There's people who, systematically get married because, it's a thing to do. Like, they both want, the house, the white picket fence, the, 2.5 kids, the dog, you know what I'm saying? And for the 0.5, means because she's pregnant with baby number 3. And, they just are just, people who are like that. They both have their careers or this or that, and they're just, in this flow of, what the American dream is, right? And then they have, people who get married for transactional relationships, and they're both aware of that. But I personally feel, especially with our community, when two people are connected to a greater purpose or to a greater vision, that is a marriage that is going to withstand a lot of different test trials and ultimately, more times than not, the test of time, because they're both committed to the duty itself. They're both committed to the purpose itself. They're both about building community, business, and this and that. So when you're, especially as a woman, okay, don't listen to what nobody's telling you outside. Don't watch what you see on social media. Don't watch what people are telling you about, getting money in this and the bag and all that. Don't watch all that stuff. Don't watch about how other people's husband is taking them to Dubai and maybe they're the same age as you. Don't watch that. Your man has a vision and a purpose and a plan. You need to get on the cord with that man. Because as I love how the host just said it. He's like, you're fulfilling somebody else's dream. Most of the time that you look at these people who work for somebody else, when you see the people who own the company, the husband and the wife, and you see how the wife is living and the husband is living, and you're going over there stressing yourself out, going to work, and you coming home and you arguing with your man about that, it's so important to be on one accord. It's so important to be on one accord, having one mission, one plan, one purpose. It's very, very vital. It's very vital. Very vital. even if your man is maybe like a construction worker or whatever the case is, and even if he's happy with that, right? He's happy with being a construction worker. Your focal point still needs to be your home, his well-being, and your children. And I said it before. A lot of these bag chasing women are just very selfish. You know, they feel like, well, he gets to go out and do this. I need to go out and do that, and are not thinking about the well-being of their kids and just leaving their kids up to just be raised by whoever can do it.
All the time.
All the time.
For the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Think of the percentage, right? If you're working a 9 to 5, you're working a job. Think of the percentage of your waking hours that's devoted to that, right? So if you say 24 hours a day, you sleep for 8, right? Some people, I don't sleep that much, whatever. Right? We're just gonna say 8 hours of sleep, right? So you're 16 waking hours.
Mm-hmm.
You got an 8-hour job, but it ain't really 8 hours. It's 8 hours work shift, hour lunch. So you're just 9 hours at the job.
Mm-hmm.
The commute there, the commute back,
Mm-hmm.
right? 10 hours, easy. So 10 of the 16 hours that you're awake,
It's going
toward it. And so you live for the nights and the weekends. Now you're living your life for nights and weekends. Watch this. You get up, get dressed, give your best outside the house. She gonna get up. Look at my wife, right? She looking good, right? You know what I'm saying?
I'm respecting.
She's beautiful now. You know what I'm saying? So she gonna get up and get dressed like this with the perfume on
For another man.
For another man. Have a work husband, all that foolishness, right? Have a work husband.
Work husband.
Right? I'm gonna get suited and booted, go over here, and have a work wife, and we're gonna spend most of our day in those environments. And then she's gonna come home, and what do women do when they come home? I gotta take my face off. Oh, so wait a minute. You had to go put on the makeup, and you did all that to look good, and she gonna put on the sweats, tie her hair up, and take her. Look, watch this. We both at home now, right? Guess what? I still put on cologne at home.
Yeah.
Just to be like, where you going?
Right.
I'm smelling good for her.
Ooh.
I don't got to, like, I always do it to go out somewhere else. And then she gets to be around a man that is showing his position of power, right? Because he's the supervisor, the manager, the CEO, whatever the case is. So she's getting to see him make decisions and be, and she's seeing him suit the boot, all just the best. But when she come home, she get to see my jaws on the floor, right? She, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've been married for 15 years. Like, she smell when you know what I'm saying? She don't see none of that. Like he don't leave his jaws on the floor too. Like,
She sees the best side of him.
She see the best side in him, right? And we wonder why, like, so many affairs happen in the workplace.
Because they only see the best side of each other.
Then they start, if something is happening at home, you're confiding it, you're talking to somebody, just proximity, just the people that you're around the most, right? How many times we think we have friends at a job and then you leave a job and within a couple of years, you're not even in communication with them. But those was your people, though.
Right.
It was just familiarity with proximity.
Absolutely.
That's right. So that proximity is a dangerous thing. So if it's going to be a man that's going to fuss at her, get on her nerves, boss her around, it's going to be me. It ain't going to be another man.
Dude, you got me thinking. It's like now.
Love that. I love that. And listen, I want to say a really key point. Everybody is not going, it's not possible for everybody in the whole entire world to be a business owner, right? Or a CEO. It's not possible, right? We still need people to work the jobs. Like, that's just how it works. If everybody wants to be their own, well, let me say it like this. Everybody is not going to be a business owner and a CEO in the sense of, maybe supermarkets and stuff like that. You're always going to have people. You can own different businesses and still be a consumer. That's a different conversation. But I'm just saying, everybody doesn't have that, right? Or everybody doesn't even want that. Everybody doesn't want to have that exact situation. But for those that do have visions and plans to do that, okay, and to want to do that, people can do businesses in different ways, but I'm just saying, anybody who does have that vision and plan to want to do that, and the ability to do that, it is important that if you are having a plan and you can sit down with your wife and you guys come on one accord again, okay, yeah, that's a great idea. Bring the mind, the strategies together, form that business, build that business. It's the main important thing that this person is your wife becomes your number one secretary employee. Okay, she become the work wife too. She the home wife, she become the work wife. Because it makes more sense to build one vision than to separately have two different visions going on. It makes the most sense to build one vision. Okay, your man is a provider. It makes sense to get in line with that vision. Okay, and I understand that there are different situations where it's the woman who is the one who is, the breadwinner, and we always see it now on TikTok. We talk the stay-at-home dads. Okay, those are different scenarios, but more times than not, it's about building the joint vision of the family structure. What is best going to suit the family? What is best going to suit the children? And as a woman, your eyes are here and here. Your eyes are here on your husband and his needs, what it is that he wants, what it is that's going to help him flourish the best, and what it is that your children need as well. You have to have your eyes on these two spaces, because if you're not worried about your children and their best needs and what's going to best suit them, you're leaving them up to society. You're leaving them up to teachers that you don't even know. You're leaving them up to school systems to raise them, to teach them, to guide them. You don't know what's going on in school. You don't know what meetings are having. You don't know what homework they got. You don't know nothing. Because you over here trying to be a boss chick over on the side while your husband is still working. Okay, he's still working. So you have to have your eyes focused on your children, and you have to have your eyes focused on your husband, because if you don't, somebody else is. As they said, the work wife, secretary, some other people respect this man and are watching this man, and they have his best interest at heart. So it's important as a woman to be that balance.
I want to do something with my family. I got to go ask another man for the rest of my life. Can I take off?
You got to send your wife. If something going on with your child, they sick, they need monitor bill. You got to send your wife to ask a man, hey, can I go home and take care of my husband's children? Is it okay? You got to get permission.
You got me thinking.
So what I was.
But let's not knock people who have a job.
Absolutely not, because we were in that position.
Absolutely. And I got people working for me right now. So hold on.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, what is the vision?
Right.
Like, and I want to be in a position to where I can set up like my team members now to be like, hey, I get it. Working for me is not the move forever. How do we get you in a place where you can go out there and do your thing, and maybe we work together, but you're building your vision.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. We're working together, but you're still building your vision, Some people's visions align with them working their job. Like, some people are working a job, maybe, I'm just going to use this for an example, maybe at a law firm, right, and they are starting and they're getting their expertise from somebody else, or, some people are working at a construction company, and they're watching things, but they actually want to own a company, and they actually want to grow, and they want to see themselves in a position. What is your vision? And this is one of the biggest keys in marriages. And that vision that you have, those conversations within marriages is so vital and important, because you get to see somebody who's really down with you, okay, and ready to hold it down for you. These are conversations, I say in marriages, but these are even conversations in dating. Like where do you see your life, in this amount of time? What's your visions? What's your plans? Like, what are you thinking of? And a person that can say, yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'm down with that. And what you can do that shows you so much about the other person. If you express your vision or your plan or whatever, and they trying to tell you every reason why you shouldn't do it, that's a red flag. I love this video. And I agree. Finances, financial wealth, financial freedoms, financial stability, better family units, building our families and stuff like that, especially within our community. I love it. I love to see it. I love the conversation, because we are, if you didn't know, Rivah gonna tell you, okay? We're the blueprint for everything. We've just gotten so far off. If we weren't the blueprint, we wouldn't be put in situations to forget who we are and to forget where we came from. It's because we are the blueprint. So I love to see the unit, that's what it is to be, man, woman, and child. Like that, this is what we are grading, this is what we are having these conversations about. We're getting our family units back together, not just single mom over here just raising these kids, not this man just being all out here on his, no, we're talking about the unity. We need the unity. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I genuinely want to know you guys' thoughts, feelings, opinions, all of that. Make sure you guys leave your comment, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not following me on Instagram, again, my Instagram is @RIVAH_JORDON. Sorry if I had a little bit of a lisp in this video, guys. I do have my retainer on. Okay, so sorry about that. But let me know, again, what you guys think about this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so very much. And I will see you guys in the next video. Love you.